Because make no mistake, your life, right now, is nothing more and nothing less than a reflection of what you've chosen to believe. Every action, every limit, every victory, it all begins in the invisible world of thought. That's the birthplace of destiny. The truth that most people never understand is simple, yet powerful beyond measure. You don't become what you want, you become what you believe. Want is weak. Belief is power. Want says, I hope. Belief says, it's done. The people who rise in this world, who create, lead, and transform, they all began with a decision to believe in something greater than circumstance, a decision to see the invisible and chase it until it became reality. Every man who ever built an empire started with nothing but conviction. Andrew Carnegie believed in the power of ideas long before he touched steel. Walt Disney believed in a world of magic before anyone could see it on screen. Henry Ford believed that every family could own a car when experts laughed in his face. Belief was the spark that turned imagination into history. And it's the same power living inside you right now. But here's the secret no one tells you. Belief is not given, it's chosen. You decide what story you'll tell yourself. You decide what limitations you'll accept. You decide whether failure becomes your excuse or your foundation. You can believe you're unlucky and your mind will collect evidence to prove it. You can believe you're capable and your mind will open doors that once seemed locked. Because your mind is a mirror, it reflects only what you show it. Every thought plants a seed, and belief is the sunlight that gives it life. Most people never question their beliefs. They inherit them from parents, teachers, friends, culture, and live their entire lives inside a cage built by someone else's doubt. They never realize that the walls are imaginary. That's why few ever break free. They don't need new opportunities, they need new beliefs, because opportunity without belief is useless. You'll never act on what you don't think you deserve. That's the invisible prison, the belief that says, I can't. It kills more dreams than failure ever will. But the moment you replace I can't with I will, the world shifts beneath your feet. You begin to see the path that was hidden all along. You start meeting people who align with your vision. You begin attracting the resources, timing, and ideas that move you forward. It's not magic, it's alignment, the law of belief in motion. When you decide to believe in your own power truly, deeply, unshakably, you stop chasing validation and start creating momentum. You stop needing permission and start writing your own destiny. You start realizing that faith isn't something you feel, it's something you do. Belief is not a comfort zone, it's a battlefield. Every day your mind is waging war between fear and faith. Fear whispers, what if you fail? Faith replies, what if I fly? That's the war every great person has fought. Edison fought it in his lab. Lincoln fought it in his loneliness. Oprah fought it when no one believed her voice mattered. They all had moments when belief was the only thing left. And that's what separates the great from the ordinary. When the world doubts, you believe harder. When the results don't show, believe longer. When fear screams in your ear, believe louder, because that's how mountains move. Not through luck, not through talent, through relentless, unshakable belief. Success begins the moment you stop waiting for evidence. The evidence comes after the decision. You have to believe before the world gives you a reason. That's the ultimate act of courage, to walk by faith, not by sight. Most people say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the creators of this world, the builders, the dreamers, the innovators, they live by a different law. I'll see it because I believe it. That's the truth of life. Your mind doesn't respond to reality, it creates it. Every morning when you wake up, your beliefs go to work before you do. They shape your focus, your choices, your effort, your energy. If you believe today will be powerful, you'll act powerfully. If you believe it will be another wasted day, you'll live that prophecy into existence. That's the law of the mind. It delivers whatever you order. So the question is not, what do you want? The question is, what have you decided to believe? If you believe you're unworthy, you'll sabotage opportunity. If you believe you're destined, you'll chase excellence until it's yours. Your belief is your steering wheel. It decides your direction long before your feet move. The greatest transformation begins when you finally look in the mirror and refuse to let your past define your potential. Because your past is not your prophecy, it's your preparation. Every scar, every failure, every heartbreak is not proof that you're weak, it's proof that you're still fighting. And the longer you fight, the stronger your belief becomes. That's the paradox of faith. The more you're tested, the more unstoppable you grow. So believe not because it's easy, but because it's the only way forward. Believe until doubt starves from lack of attention. Believe until your reality bends to your vision. Believe until your enemies start asking how you did it. Because belief is the birthplace of every miracle, every invention, every revolution, every masterpiece. It all started with one person who refused to let reality define their dream. You have that same power, the same mind, the same divine spark. The only difference is what have you decided to believe about yourself. You can believe you're a victim, or you can believe you're a creator. You can believe life is happening to you, or you can believe life is responding to you. Both will be true depending on which one you live. The pen is in your hands. The story is still being written. And belief is the ink that writes your destiny.